practice Uttanasana with a block between the upper inner thighs. So place a block way up high in the thighs. Have your feet right underneath your sitting bones. Bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen the side ribs. Let the shoulders move back. Elbows back. Inhale and lift the front of your spine, and then exhale and fold over your legs. Fingertips coming down onto the mat. And start to squeeze the block with your outer thighs. So the outer thighs squeeze into the inner thighs, into the block. Connect the outer body towards the midline. So the squeezing of the legs from outer to inner is an expression of the outer body hugging the midline. Let your legs be tall and active and squeezing in, and then let this help you release your spine more, relaxing and releasing the spine down and forward like a waterfall, flowing out of the pelvis and down towards the top of the head, so the head is relaxed. Let your abdomen recede back. Let there be a gentle roundness in the lumbar. Let your rib cage be heavy, the front side of the rib cage, the back side. And then bring your hands to your hips, reach the chest forward, shoulders back, and come up. As you're here now, maintain that squeezing of the outer thighs in. We'll practice Badanguliasana. So interlace your fingers, legs are in Tadasana, and press your palms forward with fingers interlaced. And then as you lift the arms up, keep the waist settling back towards the back body. So you don't want to let the belly swing forward as the arms go back. Keep the abdomen settling back. Keep the thighs pulling back, especially the tops of the thighs. Keep the buttocks relaxing from bottom to top as you stretch the arms up. And then take the arms further back as you press the shoulder blades forward into the rib cage. And become longer here. Feet grounding, hands pressing to the sky. Make more space between your hands and your feet, and let the abdomen settle back into that space. And then exhale and bring your arms down. Switch the interlace of the fingers. Press your palms forward, straighten the elbows. Pull the elbows closer together as you reach the arms up and overhead. As the arms pull back, let the waist pull back, let the thighs pull back. Be rooted in your feet. Be active in the musculature of your legs. Pull the arms up out of the sides of your waist. Be firm and steady here. Find the earth element in your body here. Firm, outer body pulling into the midline. Outer arms into the midline. Outer thighs into the midline. And then exhale and lower your arms down and release the interlace of the fingers. Now we'll practice Ardhanavasana. So lay on your back again, starting with a neutral spine here. Feet flat, knees bent, relaxing. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Really be in neutral here. And then exhale and find a deep contraction of the low belly. So the low, deep belly pulls back towards the interior spine, tucking the pelvis, and then stretch your legs out at 45 degrees and lift your shoulder blades and arms up. Inhale here and find length in the limbs, activity in the limbs. Exhale and scoop the belly again, thinking of the belly moving towards the back body, contracting there. Inhale, stretch the arms and stretch the legs, roll the thighs in and make your legs longer. Exhale, find a deep contraction. And then inhale, lay back down, bend your knees, feet flat, and recover here. Smooth breath, inhaling and exhaling. Now we'll practice belly rolling pose, which is a wonderful, very active twist and a core exercise. Reach your arms out to the sides, stretch the elbows, pull your shoulder blades down your back, and press the backs of your hands into the floor, palms face up. And lift your legs up so they're at 90 degrees. Really active legs. Inhale here, and exhale, lower your legs down halfway towards your right hand, and think of your belly pulling to the left. So the belly recedes and pulls to the left as the legs move to the right. The legs are very even and active. And then inhale back up to center with the legs. And exhale your legs over to the left towards the left hand. So make sure that your feet are also coming headwards towards the left and up towards your head. Extending through the legs, pull the belly to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale the legs to the right and the belly recedes and pulls left. Reach the left arm to the left. And inhale all the way back to center with the legs. And exhale, lower your legs over to the left side, towards the left hand. Pull the belly to the right. So the belly recedes and pulls to the right. Pull your right arm to the right. Breathing here, active legs, open feet. Press the backs of the hands into the floor. Inhale your legs up to the center. And then bend your knees and rest your feet down. Breathe deeply here as you recover. And then roll to your side and come on up. Now we'll do a quad stretch with the wall, and you need a blanket and 2 blocks as well. Please fold up the blanket as you see here and place that folded blanket on the sticky mat and against the wall. And then sit on your shins directly in front of that blanket with your back pointing towards the wall. And then have the blocks underneath your hands alongside your body. And inch yourself back so that your feet are up on the blanket and your knees are still on the mat. And then as you see here, place your left shin against the wall. So the left knee is on the blanket and the top of your foot is pressing against the wall. And then lean into the blocks with your hands so that you can place your right foot between the blocks. So that front leg is in a front leg lunge position. And start to pull the whole sacrum forward towards the front heel. And kick the top of your back foot into the wall. Make your hips square. Pull the outer right hip back and in. Think of squeezing your hips from the outer to the inner. Gather your hips towards each other and lift your low belly up off of the pelvis. And as you lunge here, think of the front of the pelvis lifting. Think of the kidney area, the back of your rib cage, the lower back ribs lifting and spreading. Bend the front knee, square the hips. Gather the hips, lift the low belly, let the tailbone move in, lift the frontal hips, lengthen the spine. And then move the blocks forward a little bit, bring your front shin down, and then bring your back shin down, and we'll switch sides. Now bring the right knee onto the blanket. Lean into the blocks and step your left foot between the blocks so that left leg is in a front leg lunge position. And kick the top of your back foot into the wall. Pull the outer left hip back and in. Squeeze your outer hips together and lift the low belly. Lift the front of the pelvis. Lengthen all the way through the spine, through the top of the head. Spread the back bottom rib area. Lift the front of the pelvis again, and then sink the tailbone forward and in, deeper into your body, bending that front knee. Enjoy having those blocks to support the hands and the arms, to support your upper body. Again, gather those hips together, square and gather the hips. Low belly lifting, front of the pelvis lifting. Sink deeper into the lunge. And then come out of the pose, bringing the front shin down, and then the back shin down. Hands on thighs. Breathe here to recover. Now we'll practice downward facing dog with hands on blocks, and those blocks will be against the wall. Bring the heels of your hands to the very edge of the blocks, and then lift up into dog pose. Keep the heels lifted, knees bent at first, and lift the pelvis way up high. Find an enormous height of the pelvis and start to pull the buttocks up and back away from the push of the hands. Think of the back surface of the sacrum lifting away from the low back and pull the centers of your thigh bones back and up. Lift the fronts of the legs. Now lift your toes and see if that helps you lift the fronts of the legs more. Pull the outer hips back and lengthen more through the armpits, through the forearms. Squeeze your upper arms towards each other. Pull those inner thighs and outer thighs back again. And you can start to straighten the legs here, pulling the buttocks back, pulling the thighs back. Let the head release. Keep active in the arms. And then bend your knees and come out of the pose. Now fold your blanket for Malasana and stand in a forward bend with your heels up on the blanket, balls of the feet on the sticky mat, and then lower your hips down and let your trunk come between your knees. So you'll widen your knees just enough so that your rib cage can fit right between the knees, and let your spine be very round. Let the belly recede back towards the lumbar and lengthen. Stretch your arms forward and start to squeeze your knees into your armpits, into those outer armpits. Let your buttocks release down. Let your head and tailbone be heavy. And pull your inner heels towards each other and down. So those inner ankles are touching and the inner heels get very grounded into the blanket. And now you can wrap your arms around, so you'll internally rotate your arms, reach your arms behind you and grab onto your heels. And here let the head and tail become very heavy again. Low back, nice and round, belly receding, a nice even roundness in the spine. Breathing here. Slow down your exhalations. And then release the bind. Stretch your arms forward again. Let the upper buttocks release down. Let the arms extend. Let your rib cage sink down more, down between the knees. Squeeze your knees into those outer ribs even more. And then lift your trunk up and back and bring your knees together in front of your chest and pause here, wrapping your arms around the upper shins. And now we'll complete this practice with chair shavasana. Put the chair on your sticky mat and sit down close to the front of the chair And then swing your legs up onto the chair and lay down. And please adjust the flesh of your buttocks to pull the flesh of your buttocks away from your low back. And then adjust the shoulders so your shoulder blades are settled nicely down your back, and let the arms relax. Let the legs be supported by the chair. Let the lower back be supported by the floor. And let your whole body relax and release down.